I guess I could turn my camera on. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 5 of my favorite show and her favorite show. My favorite show. You guys, we have an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. We've got 2 stellar dudes in the community that we've brought on panel with us tonight. They're dear to my heart, close to my home. What can I say? But they have so much knowledge, a great amount of knowledge to share with you guys in the community. We're going to be chopping it up, talking about some upcoming movies. I don't know what we're going to talk about. You guys know how we do. We just see where the shit goes, right? We just see where it goes. So make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing, and sharing. Let's get some people in here chatting it up with us. So got my girl Max. You know what we do? We alternate weeks. So this week is my week. Next week will be on her channel. Who knows what we'll do next week, but make sure you tune in every Friday night at 9 Central Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for my girl. And we do the thing, right?
Yeah. Every time.
All right. First up, we are going to introduce the Hitman Horton. Y'all know him as Tony, the Hitman Horton from Shoebox Heroes. What's up, Tony?
How's it going, guys?
It's going good, my friend.
Cool.
All right. We are also going to bring in our other guests on the panel tonight. We have the Todd father from the Nerd Eternal Network. What's up, Todd?
What's happening?
The one who knows.
Blurred Donald DeVille.
I have to say, these 2 guys that I met, my God, the amount of knowledge they have in this industry blows my mind. Like, if I don't know anything, which I don't know everything, trust me, I go to these 2 and they can tell me anything about anything.
Genius is a burden.
Ooh. Now watch me come up blank on everything she started asking in a few minutes. It's like, oh no.
Just like I said, hey, what's that book, Tony? You're like,
It is Scarecrow, isn't it? First Scarecrow? Oh, I got it right. Cool.
Yeah. Yes. What's up? All right, you guys, we got no rules tonight. It's a no rule night. We don't sell anything. We're just here to talk with you guys. We've got Wayne so far in the house. What is up, Wayne? He says, hello, ladies. That goes to you 2 down there as well. He's calling y'all ladies. I'm just playing.
Nope.
I'm just messing with y'all. Hey, where are you guys streaming from?
From an
undisclosed location.
Really?
Yeah.
Oof.
Why don't you want to tell
Probably
me?
our Rogues Gallery.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It's kind of like I was looking at the stuff that's behind Todd, and it's a Metroplex, and it looks like a Norman Reedus and a Michonne and some Marvel. Looks like Marvel Universe 3 3/4 inch. I wonder where he is.
I don't know. It's freakish. It's freakish. You never know where we may show up.
Yeah, I got a bunch of comic books behind me.
Yep.
So you already know.
I don't know where y'all are at, but it looks like a pretty goddamn cool place.
Yeah, we find cool places and, pop up in there and make them live on what they want.
Yeah.
This is what we do.
It smells like trouble.
Looks like trouble.
You look like trouble. Y'all look like trouble. Y'all, we've got 16 beautiful people hanging out with us. If you are in the chat right now, hit that thumbs up. Say hello. We want to talk to y'all. Please do. That's right. Please do. All right. So let's start with this because we're gonna go there. Who's watched Hawkeye? What did so we're spoilers, maybe #maybe spoilers. What did you think about it, Todd?
I liked it. It was cool. Hawkeye is not my favorite Avenger, but I enjoyed. I enjoyed it. I got more into the second episode than I did the first one. Yeah, it was cool. I'm gonna check it out.
Does it follow the standard Marvel formula?
It follows kind of the Hawkeye book. You know, his solo book with him and Kate.
Mhm.
It reminds you, that's where the story needs to come from. So it's that,
Okay.
Like I said, it's just 2 episodes in. So the way Disney Plus's stuff has been going, you kind of have to get into it for it to
Take off.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it. I was like, it's too early to say where it's going to go, but it definitely grabbed some interest there. You know what I mean? To make you want to watch. Yeah, we might have some echo. These two guys are actually in the same room, so we'll try to work through it. Work through it. Make sure the echo cancellation is good, but they're literally sitting across from each other. Yes, character building.
They are actually cosmic. So that happens. The one who knows is cosmic. I can't help it. I try to hold it in, but sometimes it just slips out. That's not an echo. That's how I actually sound when you meet me in real life. Sometimes.
Tony's frozen.
I am experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
I'll tell you what, this is why I like hanging out with these two. They're freaking
How Cosmic flowed off of him and it messed up his computer. I'm sorry. I do what I can.
Well.
Yeah. I do the best that I can. Oh, yeah, he just gone.
Yep.
He's gone. He's out. He said deuces.
He dipped. He's out making a hit.
Yep.
He just disappeared, took somebody out.
Okay. Todd, what's your thoughts on the new ASM movie coming up next month?
I don't know. I'll see if this is the one that I actually enjoy. I'm in the minority. My favorite live action Spider-Man is Andrew Garfield. I love Amazing Spider-Man, and
kick him to the void too while you're at it.
As far as Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's just Tom Holland. The only thing we have in common is the last name. I like his last name.
Oh my God! I just realized that.
Yeah.
I literally just realized that. Okay.
Yeah, Toby.
Early days, I would be on.
No,
Facebook.
his last name is Holland.
Yeah, but what about Toby Maguire? That's the best Spider-Man.
Toby didn't keep his mask on.
So many memes.
That was my big problem with Toby, especially by the time you got to Spider-Man 3. It was, look, it's the amazing Tobey Maguire. Look, it's the spectacular Tobey Maguire. Look, it's adjectiveless Tobey Maguire. Dude, I know it's you. Keep your mask on. That was late enough in the days that you had cell phones with cameras. Why have you got your mask off every 5 seconds and you are playing like you got a secret identity? Keep your mask on, dude. We know it's you.
Right.
And I like Spider-Man to be funny. That's really what I like about Garfield Spidey the most, is because he's funny. He quips.
Yep.
Right.
And he's his own man.
Well, yeah, he has that whole he's his own man thing too. Tom still ain't got that left. He's like, every time I watch Tom Holland Spidey, I think of Scott Pilgrim, and it's like he's fighting Tony Stark's evil exes, because that's all his villains. All his villains, they don't have a problem with him. They just hate Tony Stark. So he's like the new girl, and like he's fighting all of Tony Stark's side chicks. That's they gotta do better than that. We'll see what it does in this next one. We'll see.
Do you think they're going to tie in some Miles in it?
Nah.
You don't think so? Because the rumor is at the last of the clip that purple sky coming in.
Yeah, Miles. I don't think they'll do Miles, truthfully, because too much of MCU Peter's story is Miles' story.
Yep.
They took a lot of Miles and put him into Peter. Ned is nobody but Yankee. And
right.
yeah, it's just And besides, Miles now, Peter, you got Kid Peter running around. They only work in the same universe because 616 Peter's grown. And Miles is a kid, so he's kind of tutoring him along. You got them both running around the same age. No. He becomes completely redundant.
Right.
Maybe we see him like Miles. Maybe we see him like get born or some shit.
Well, you know he's born. You know he's born already because you met his uncle. You know, that was his uncle. Donald Glover played his uncle. He talked about his nephew, you know, living in that area. So you know Miles is born. You know he's out scrambling around somewhere. It's just
he's still too young.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Baby.
Yeah,
just a little
right.
baby.
And, you know, that's a lot of Spidey in one movie if the rumors are true. So you have Holland Spidey, Maguire Spidey, Garfield Spidey. Now you're gonna add Miles to it. Daredevil's in it. Well, at least Matt Murdock's in it.
I know. I saw
at least 5 or 6 different villains.
Right.
If Eternals has taught you anything, is that you can't handle that many characters in a movie and do them justice.
There's a shit ton of villains in it. Hey, where's Tony? Is Tony logging back in? I don't want him to miss this part.
It's trying to.
Okay.
He's trying. Apparently, he's on the run. That last hit went bad.
Okay.
And
because I didn't want him to miss this, but we can hear him.
He's got to hide in the bushes. Sometimes they have dogs and better security systems, and when he makes that hit, you know, he has to hide in the bushes.
Yeah.
So what are they doing? They threw in like every goddamn ASM villain.
Well, yeah, it's
pretty much.
It's a quickie way of doing the Sinister Six.
Yep.
You know, which is something that Sony's wanted to do now for a minute. So, you know,
it's one of those things that they may not get a chance to do it again. And if they do get a chance to do it again, all the right pieces that they got might not be on board with it. So they're cashing in all their chips on the popularity of Michael Keaton. Because Michael Keaton has the buzz right now with the whole new Batman and the Flash movie that's getting ready to drop.
Yep.
And you notice they haven't said anything about Michael Keaton's role in the Vulture in this movie. They've given you every villain, a showcase of every villain so far, but you haven't seen anything that's related to him yet. And then on top of that,
so you betting 6 is Vulture?
I'm betting 6 is Vulture.
See, I'm betting 6 is Mysterio.
I'm betting 6 is going to be Vulture for the simple fact he knows who he's the first one that knew who Pete was.
Yeah,
and the whole reason that he said that his secret would stay safe is to make sure that his daughter would stay safe. So he's got ties to Pete, and if Pete's trying to save his daughter, then his heart's in the right place, and he doesn't have any qualms, you know, against Pete from that point.
He's gone. Remember, they left. The mom and the daughter dipped.
True.
They were like, "Hey, Dad's a crook. Can't be seen anymore. I'm out."
But you see him again in that trailer.
Where?
When Pete turns his head and Doc Ock comes up out the ground.
I gotta watch that again.
Watch it.
I ain't seen it.
Yeah, see, that's what I had to do. I had to watch it like 5 or 6 times because I know that people like speculate on things, but I was like, okay, I gotta watch it, but not watch the main scene. You gotta watch the back.
I'm back in the room, but I'm not on.
What about
when you pop up?
Enter
when you pop
studio.
up, I'll add you. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to watch it in slow-mo. So you got to watch these trailers.
Yeah, the target is eliminated. Target has been acquired.
You got to watch these trailers, and you got to watch the backdrops, not the main person. That's hard to do.
You cannot trust Marvel's trailers now.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Because I can remember when Thor had 2 eyes in the trailer in that scene where he's powering up. You see the movie, Hella knocked out one of his eyes.
Yep. They good at covering up stuff.
They'll put something in there that ain't in the movie.
Yep.
But they're supposedly.
What? Oh, you cut off again?
Cut right off again, dude.
Tony, come on.
Why don't y'all sit on the same computer?
Because I don't know if I like Tony that much. I already got folks calling us ladies. It's a bit much. You can't have the assassin and the Todd father in the same frame. I got to have plausible deniability.
Guilty by association. What is going on?
Hey, was that the hitman that did that? I don't know. I was in Detroit.
Tony, go out to the front.
Find that Wi-Fi sweet spot.
Yeah, go out to the front desk.
I don't think it's got anything to do with the white.
I think he's changing computers.
Yeah.
You guys, they are streaming inside of Creamer and Cash Comics. So my bad if the internet sucks.
No, it's not the internet. It's
better than the one at my house.
It
is not the internet, folks. It is like all these 101 updates on this computer that I
strictly use to do my artwork and stuff on. Now that I connected, it's like, hey, buddy, you have 1,000 updates. Let's do
Hey, you guys, they are sharing that tiny table in the back. You guys need to put something in the chat so I can give you wrenches and you can drop your links. So if you're not subbed up to these two, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You're not in the right space. What are you doing with your life? Anyways, yeah. So let's get back to it.
You guys heard about the 2 post credits?
Of what?
Of Amazing Spider-Man.
2 post credits?
Well, there's a post credit that people are gonna love, and there's supposedly a post credit that people are gonna hate.
No.
And
when did this come?
There's rumors, speculations, and rumors about Pete actually leaving. Spoiler alerts, people. Spoiler alerts. And it's all.
Is a spoiler alert if it's a rumor?
Well, it's, you have to give it to them in case I spill the beans and don't know about it. Rumor has it.
You can't come to this channel without spoiler alerts.
Rumor has it, believe it or not, that Pete's supposed to be going to college after this. He finds a reality where he can fit in, and he goes to college. And he meets a chick by the name of
Gwen Stacy. See, it crashed on me again.
I think your computer hates you.
It's hot garbage.
Get on your phone, fool. He said it's hot garbage. So he goes to college and meets Gwen Stacy.
That's one of the rumors. That's one. The other one is, as they're falling, MJ, in the trailer, it looks like she's about to meet her death. But it's Ned and MJ that's falling.
It's who and MJ?
MJ, but they don't capture Ned. I think Ned bites the bullet. And I think the Goblin, there's speculation that the Goblin takes him and saves him, and he becomes the new Hobgoblin because he feels betrayed by his best friend not being able to save him, but he saved his girlfriend.
Yeah, but let's be honest. If me and your boo was falling, I really expect you not to save me.
That's a lie.
Todd, we know you
not to save me.
Bros, B4.
I'm just saying. Because she's doing stuff for you that I ain't ever going to do.
That's true.
Ever.
True.
Ever.
Oh my God.
So if I'm following, I'd be like, well,
let me die.
I ain't say let me die. I'm just saying, if he don't catch me, I ain't, I get it.
So let's go back to that. So he said the rumor is, say it again, because he was cutting off.
Oh, the rumor is that second one he was saying was both MJ and Ned are falling, and he catches MJ but not Ned.
Okay.
He feels some kind of way because he didn't get
And then
caught.
apparently Ned is upset because he chose MJ over him and ends up the Hobgoblin or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And where are we hearing this rumor?
As far as I know, Tony made it up.
Tony makes up his own rumors.
You're hearing it here for the first time ever.
We just make up lies. put them on the line.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Like, what happened? I heard a rumor. What?
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard one of the universes he goes to, he almost gets stepped on by Godzilla. Really? Nah, I just made it.
I just made that up.
And watch him squirm by doing it.
Man, so
You know,
like I
Hasbro
said,
makes Marvel toys and Transformers. I hear Optimus Prime's in it.
okay, these rumors are not confirmed. They are not
No,
sponsored by
okay.
Creamer and Cash Comics or Max Comics. These are all their
Speculations, merely speculations, only rumors, speculations.
Well, let's be honest. You don't really want that to be true. You don't want to go to the movie and then find out bastards ruined this thing a whole month before I saw it.
And that's why I'm saying spoiler alert and speculation. Spoiler alert and speculation.
That's why I say you should make up a room and lie.
I want to lie to the people.
What? They'd appreciate it. They'd be sitting there going, man, I thought Optimus Prime was going to be in this.
I'm not a politician.
That's just a truck.
I'm not a politician.
You had truck that Doc Ock smashes into? Yeah, that's a Bumblebee. What?
I don't stand to get reelected
Hey.
by lying to these
Hey,
people.
somebody told me that John Cena was Duke and Bumblebee, and I believed it. It didn't ruin it for
I
me.
thought he was Steve. I thought it was.
It didn't ruin it for me. I'm sitting there going, ooh, is that Duke? Hey, Duke, he's lying.
Yeah. Hot garbage.
Max,
All right.
any questions you have for these two dudes, even though we can't see one of them?
Hold on.
There's a question.
What about
What the hell is
Spot?
wrong with you?
What about what?
Spot.
What's in that cup?
What about what, Max?
Spot.
Spot.
Yeah. Villain.
Oh, the Spot?
Mm-hmm.
What about him?
Do you think he's gonna come soon? MCU?
Ooh.
Probably not, but it would make me real happy if he did.
I
Because the
think he's
Spot's
gonna
one
come.
of those that, you know, you figure, hey, they'll never put him in the movie. If they did, they get mad points from me from that. Yeah.
Well, I think what the MCU has to do is they have to bring in some of these other characters, other villains that they haven't used yet, because they're gonna run out of substance. You know what I'm saying? And people are gonna get tired of just seeing the plain old villains. Like, bring in some of these other villains that are unused and bring them to life. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get to a point where they're going to have to do that.
I'd kill for a Scorpion.
Right?
I wanted to see, you know, an honest to God Scorpion in a live action movie almost since I saw the first Spider-Man.
Right.
But what's the chances? And they have that real bad thing about killing their villains.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Any villain in any other cinematic universe, the only one that didn't die in the Spider-Man cinematic universe was the Sandman. Just let him go.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody else got killed.
Yeah.
Are we going to see Venom show up? That's a good question, Wayne. That is a good question. Venom and ASM have always been tied together, but they've been so separated lately. So do you guys think we're going to see Venom show up?
Probably, just because that's a cash cow. But my prediction would be it would likely be in Venom 3 quicker than it would be in Spider-Man 4. Venom needs the help.
Yeah,
You know,
that's very true.
Venom needs the help. And if Spider-Man's time in the MCU starting to kind of wind down, then that's the perfect time to, you know, because Sony's trying to do a Spideyverse without Spider-Man, and that ain't gonna fly for too much longer. You know,
right?
They've actually done enough damage to Venom by not having Spider-Man be part of that origin. He doesn't shoot
Right.
web. He doesn't have the white spider on his chest.
He doesn't stick to the walls.
He doesn't stick to walls. It's all kinds of stuff that he got from Spider-Man that, you know, the movie one just does not have.
Right.
And the interesting thing for me is going to be, why would Venom hate him?
Well,
The whole thing of the symbiote is a love-hate relationship with Peter.
Right.
Well, he was never bonded to Peter, so yeah, why would he care? Yeah, but the trick is, you always have to remember Eddie was the rebound. And this Peter would be the rebound because Venom 2, they kind of went out of their way to go, hey, Eddie and the symbiote are kind of in a relationship. So, what the hell does he care about Peter for?
Right. We have a question, but I want to, since we're talking about villains, let's go to this. What do you think about that? Kraven will be the next Spidey villain.
Rock with it.
Right, he said rock with it.
Rock with it. You know, they originally wanted Ryan Coogler originally wanted Kraven for Black Panther.
True.
And they wouldn't let him have him. But yeah, considering Kraven's abilities come from jungle herbs, yeah, the heart-shaped herb would have been perfect for him. You go into Wakanda and steal herb instead of vibranium, and you get powers out of it. So then you actually have a Kraven that's, you know, a super soldier. So yeah, that would have been a great setup.
Right.
It would have been a great setup, even if they used it for a Spider-Man movie, because you know that's the deal that they have with Sony, is they have to have an MCU character in the Spider-Man movies. That's the reason why you keep seeing folks kind of shoehorned in there, because that's in the contract.
Yep.
And having a Spider-Man Kraven that took place in Wakanda would have been cool as hell.
Hell yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
we got a question for you guys. Bree Plays wants to know, how long have you two been collecting? I know the answer, but tell Bree Plays the answer.
You want to go first? You want me to go first? I have been reading comics since I was 2 years old, literally 2 years old. It is one of my first memories in life was sitting on my parents' bed reading a Batman comic. Yes, I've been reading that long. So, yeah, my parents fed me books because I read so much it kept me from reading the cereal boxes. So, yeah, I've been collecting 47, coming up on 47 years.
Oh, you just gave away your age.
Yeah, I'm about to be 50. I'll be 50
Yep.
Monday. Woohoo!
Happy birthday! Yes,
Happy birthday.
birthday shout out to the Todd father. Hey, we give hearts here. Hearts here. Happy birthday. You know how we do. You know how we do. Tony, if you're in the background, damn it, Tony, for you not getting yo.
Trust me, I'm trying. I'm on my
I
phone
know you
now.
are.
I'm on my phone to do all this too now. So,
how long have you been collecting, Tony?
since I was 8. Since I've been 8.
And I'll tell you, Tony's a few years older than me, so that's a long time. If y'all, oh, there he is.
I'm trying to get in there.
Ooh,
Okay, there you go. Okay, you're gonna have to go in the front. I gotta mute you. I had to mute him. Tony, you're muted because I moderated you. You're gonna have to go in the front if you're gonna do it from your phone.
Gotcha.
Because you're too close to Todd. What's up, Selwyn? Let me get some shout outs to the people that are here. We've got T-Pain joining, Selwyn, CFAP, Papa Wheelie. You guys are always in here showing some love. We love it. We got Wayne still hanging with us. Bree Plays, William Albright, Billy Badass. You guys rock. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight and showing the love and giving these dudes some, putting them on the spot, giving them some questions. All right, I'm going to unmute Tony. Yeah, see, they in the same room. Tony, where you at? You going to unplug your headphones? That looks familiar.
He's going
Can you
shopping.
get me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yep.
All right.
I just got to get this bad boy where it blows up where I can see everybody.
You won't be able to if you're on your phone. You're just going to be able to see you.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Wayne says, I know that place.
All right.
Okay. So, Max, if you were going to ask these dudes and you wanted to know something that you've just never been able to figure out, oh my gosh, the hardest question, ask them. Ask them. See if they know it.
Do you guys know anything about indies?
Um,
They don't. Ask them, Max. Do it.
Never mind.
just
No, do
ask.
it. Do it.
Just ask
What's your
us.
favorite independent title?
Favorite independent title that's in publication right now?
Either.
Uh,
I'm looking at the wall.
no, I'm just sitting there thinking. It's not that I'm looking at the wall. I have so many of them. In publication right now for indie books. There's Spawn. Spawn is an all-time favorite that I've always been, a fan of. And when you start talking about stuff like that, that's the error in that where I started gravitating to all of those guys that were coming through Image Comics. So McFarlane has been around doing it for the longest, and I followed him for so long. I'd have to say Spawn would be my number one independent comic. Pretty much any and everything that Image puts out, I support a lot of their stuff. But the newest thing that I started to like was Nick Bradshaw's Bermuda. That right there was a nice little piece of eye candy. It was a rich story, and it was off a beaten path. He was trying to do something new, and I thought it was pretty good that the approach they took with it. Anything Mike Millard touches, I'm all on board with that. I love his stuff on Super Crooks, which is an anime now on Netflix. So if you hadn't checked that one out on Netflix, it's out there now, Super Crooks. And that was done by Mike Millard. The other one that he did, I think, was Tokyo Ghost. That was really cool too. I really enjoyed that one. Five Ghosts was another one that was done too, and it was done by Image Comics. It was about this guy that was kind of like Indiana Jones, and he steals this artifact, and he's possessed by 5 different ghosts. One that's an archer, one that's a wizard, one that's a vampire, and I think the other one is like a detective, kind of like Sherlock Holmes. Those are old, but at the same time, those are still good books, and I still follow a lot of the stuff those guys were doing. Pretty much any and everything that's coming out from Boom Studios, I get a hold of a lot of that stuff too. So, but it's just so many. And
these are booming lately.
I forgot about that. Yes, David Walker's Bitterroot is off the chain.
Bitterroot is real good.
If you haven't picked that book up, you need to check that out. That's really good, and I think that's up for a TV series too, isn't it now?
It is. That has been optioned. Yeah. Yep, that's been an optioned indie. What do you guys think about, like, all these option books are coming from the indie market?
Well, it's getting to a point now where everything is getting so Marvel, DC, and people are kind of like, okay, we get it now. What's next? So,
or that's people trying to jump on the bandwagon and all the good stuff's taken. You got that going too. It's like, comic. I guess this comic thing is is really gonna go someplace. We need to do a comic book movie. Who's left? So
true.
Yeah, it's let's go option some indie something just to say we got a comic book movie.
And then you got to look at this too. If it's making enough noise that the people that are talking about it are on par with the same people that's been talking about this Avenger stuff, this Justice League stuff, then obviously people are going to say, you know what, let's give this a chance to see what it has to offer.
So what are you most excited for when it comes to the optioned indies? Because everything's been optioned. You talk about Bitterroot, Nocterra,
Tony Daniels' book. Yeah, that's
something
real good too.
In the children. Oh my gosh, what else has been optioned? Gun Honey. Yeah, Department of Truth. Yep, Gun Honey. Gun Honey was optioned before the book came out.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So what are you most excited for to see out of these option books?
Out of the option books, I'm gonna have to say Noctera.
Ooh, Noctera, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look at all the stuff they got going on in there, that fits in the criteria with everything that's happening right now. You know,
Yep.
it's a lot of extraterrestrial stuff. It's a lot of techno stuff that's going on. It's a lot of man versus, without spoiling anything, you know, the unknown. It's pretty cool.
Man versus monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Noctera is an amazing read. I think that's a sleeper right now.
Yeah, a lot
Proctor
of people
Valley
don't
Road. Yes, Proctor Valley Road just popped up too this past week.
The
Oh, yeah?
sleeper
It's
the
optioned?
sleeper book that people
Nice. I
haven't
both of
had a
them.
chance to read yet and should is Geiger.
Oh, no.
I
Geiger,
think-
that's no sleeper, my friend.
Yeah.
You know what's up, but it is great. You're right on that.
That's one that I would like to see get, you know, an actual motion picture. And it's really, really good too. The trade paperback is out now. You can get the trade paperback for like $9.
We only got one left.
Yeah. And that's been a killer book. If you haven't had a chance to pick it out, the artwork's done by Gary Frank, and isn't Snyder the one that's writing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
That's
both
a
of those
great read.
things are freaking phenomenal.
Okay, we got a question for y'all. How do you feel when they kill off somebody, then bringing them back? CFAP dislikes it. How do you guys feel?
It's a selling point now. When you've been
Money
collecting
grab,
these
right?
books as long as we have and been reading them as long as we have, anytime a title hits a stagnant point, they have to do something to try to either increase the value of going forward or take the story into a different direction. And what better way to do it than either to kill somebody or introduce somebody or let somebody else take the reins of the hero.
Right.
It's unfortunate that people these days didn't get to experience Jean Grey's original Sacrifice on the Moon.
Oh yeah,
because it had weight. She was a original X-Man when she became Dark Phoenix, and she kills herself basically to save the universe. That suicide held weight in X-Men for years.
Mm-hmm.
Years after she did that, you still had characters that would look. Nightcrawler looks at a sunset and starts cursing God for being unfair because the sunset reminds him of Jean. Right. You had characters that had problems for that. Now it's a gimmick. There's no point in getting upset because the person will be back. You know, when they killed Wolverine a few years ago, nobody thought Wolverine would stay in there. That's just
or Loki.
Yeah,
true.
Wolverine, Loki, Thanos.
Loki's never gonna die. He always finds a way to like wiggle his way out of it.
Yeah. It's been done.
Colossus not only sacrificed himself to end the legacy virus, you have an issue where they cremated him and Kitty Pryde spread his ashes on the farm that he came from, and he came back from that. So
yeah,
it don't get no better.
Yep.
Wow. All right, Max, ask your question. Don't put it in the chat. Ask your question.
Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I was wondering, what's your take on Ghost Rider? And which Ghost Rider is your favorite? And when do you think is coming to the MCU? Because I've heard lots of different rumors.
Well, if the rumors are true and if they cast either Norman Reedus or Keanu Reeves, or they may wind up doing both. They may wind up, casting them both. One of them will be Danny Ketch, and the other one be who? Johnny Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then for today's generation, you got Robbie Reyes. Now, a lot of people gave that guy flack because, he drove a car. I thought it was pretty awesome. They were catching on that popularity of the '69 Dodge Charger.
Right.
Vin Diesel drove the car in the Fast and the Furious. Blade had it. It's got legacy behind it. It's got clout. And, I thought that was a cool take on it, that they actually had this little Hispanic kid that wound up taking over and becoming a Ghost Rider. But not only was he a Ghost Rider, he drove a car. Johnny Blaze is always going to be mine. he's always going to be my favorite guy. The Midnight Suns is one of the favorite stories that I've read over the years with those guys, man. And it's kind of got a soft spot for me there. Danny Ketch, he had his moments, but he's no Johnny Blaze. But
that's the trick, though. I don't really care which one of them they do, as long as they get them right, because the current writers, even of the books, don't seem to realize that all three Ghost Riders are different.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Blaze was bound to a demon, Zarathos. He didn't have the penance stare. He burned people with hellfire. His bite was actually made of hellfire. He manipulated fire that sometimes it would burn stuff physically, but when he burned people with it, it burned their soul. It was hellfire. Mm-hmm. And Blaze didn't like being Ghost Rider. His book was a horror book that was very much in vein of the Hulk. He was trying to get cured. He was trying to get that out of him. The demon didn't like him, and he didn't like the demon. So they were both trying to kind of get away from each other. Dan Ketch was not bound to a demon. He was bound to the spirit of vengeance. He was the one with the penance stare.
Yep.
So his whole thing was innocent blood triggered him, where the Blaze Ghost Rider changed every night. And Robbie Reyes, he is actually bound to his devil worshiping uncle, because it's not so much him, it's the car.
Yep.
It's the Hell Charger that's kind of his battery. And that's the thing is, even in the books now, they tend to blend them up. If you watch the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie, the first one, yeah, he's a combination of Johnny. He's supposed to be Johnny Blaze, but it's a whole lot of Dan Ketch in there, right even to the spikes and stuff on his costume. So, I don't care which one of them they do. If they do Midnight Suns, it'd be great. Just, get them right.
Yeah, and that's it.
I'm a stickler about comic book accuracy. If you go,
I'm the same way.
Right.
The core of the character needs to remain. The core of the character needs to remain true.
But that's the trick. With Ghost Rider, you got three different. They all have different motivations. Because, like I said, Dan Ketch, his Ghost Rider's whole thing was punishing the guilty. You've hurt somebody, you shed innocent blood. I'm here to make you pay for it. Johnny Blaze was basically a demon from the pit. That if you did something wrong, he made you suffer. But that's because he was a demon from the pit. He wasn't out really trying to avenge anything.
Right.
That was, like I said, it was very Incredible Hulk in that he wanted that thing gone. Even the transformation hurt. His skin melted off every night. He did not look forward to that.
I wouldn't either.
No,
okay, so Max, you gotta answer the question, because Max is a huge Ghost Rider fan. So, Max, who's your favorite?
My favorite Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Okay.
you like Punisher.
That's my first favorite. My second favorite is
Frank
Kushala.
Castle.
What was the second one?
Kushala, the Demon Rider.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
All right.
I'm hoping to see. I'm speculating that eventually they're going to get a variety of Ghost Riders on the screen. So I've been specking a little bit, like low-key specking on the first appearance of Ghost Riders as a group, and have a bunch of those. So
I really think it's going to be Robbie Reyes, because they've already established him, and that actor is still online talking about, he's waiting for his cinematic, breakout, so you're probably going to get Robbie Reyes with either Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch, one of the
I
two.
wouldn't mind a plethora, just a buffet of Ghost Riders. Do that justice for me.
I just think that car with a big budget.
The more fire, the better.
It's gonna be stupid if he's in that 68 or that 69 Charger on the big screen. That's gonna be something stupid if they actually pull that off. It'll be sick.
Right.
Yeah, I was. I'm a pretty big fan of the Ghost Riders overall, but my favorite one's definitely Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's got that wit, that losing grip on sanity, and he's got this
Well, by
time
that point,
stone
he'd
and
been
he's
through
just
a lot.
fucking around with it.
Yeah,
What?
He's been through a lot.
it's the Punisher basically who
Yeah,
pretty much gave up his humanity to kill off everybody.
He went to hell, and then he got the Spirit of Vengeance, and then he got the Power Cosmic.
Yep.
And
With that little baby Thanos.
Baby Thanos. My favorite line, I called the Watcher Sky Baby because Baby Thanos was like Sky Baby, like at the Watcher. Which he does kind of look like it, especially in the books. Big old head. So,
all right,
that's my favorite.
We got another question.
Cool.
CFAP wants to know, besides the X-Men and Avengers, what Marvel team up would you like to see? He wants the Champions. What do you guys want?
Team up?
What do you want to see? Marvel team up.
The Defenders, but not the one you got from Netflix. I'm talking about the Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer,
and the Hulk.
Defenders.
Yeah. The old school Defenders with Namor. Yeah.
That's hands down.
Because you've got 3 of them already established in the Marvel universe, pretty much. So to get Namor on board, that better be pretty awesome. I would like to see the new Fantastic Four: Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, and Ghost Rider. Yeah, that would be the new. That's what I would want to see on the big screen. That kind of team up.
Okay, I think we're gonna step in some shit here. You guys ready? You see this next comment? We gonna get into it. Let's get into it.
All right.
So, Freeway wants to know what's your thoughts on why Miles doesn't have his daddy's last name and the reason behind it. I say we're gonna step into some shit because I know what door this is gonna open and where this conversation is gonna go afterwards.
It needs to be addressed, and a lot of people don't realize it.
We're gonna take it there, so we're gonna take it there. Let's do it. Todd.
Yes.
Tony's given that question to you to start it off.
I don't mess with Miles because of that.
So tell us why.
I was new into the character, and I went into the Spider-Verse, and I was like, I may start getting into this character, and it kind of hit me. I was like, hold on, why is his last name Morales, and his uncle and his dad's last name is Davis? So I went and looked it up.
And his mother is passed, right?
Pardon? His mother died, right? in the Ultimate Universe, but no, everybody's alive in 616. Everybody's alive. And I found out that the reason why Miles' last name is Morales is because his father's an ex-thug, his uncle is a thug, and his grandfather was a thug. And his dad decided that maybe if he didn't take on the family's last name, that it would spiritually distance him from the black men in his family. So that's why his last name is Morales. That's why he has his mother's name instead of his father's, which I found to be terribly insulting. So I do not screw with Miles. Because they were right. When you think about it, they were right. All the black men named Davis, crooks, ex-crooks. Because even his dad as a cop is an ex-thug. He ended up, they named him Morales, and he turned out to be a superhero. Yeah, I'm good with that.
And he kind of abandoned his blackness and accepted his, Hispanic side of it. And that kind of alienated his side of his heritage.
You did have an issue where something happened in Girl Online saw part of his arm and was like, ooh, that Spider-Man's black like me. And you had Miles running around. Well, I got to be the black Spider-Man. Mirror? That's why.
Yeah.
So we're leading into the deepness of it. Yeah. Freeway says, wow, sounds suspect. The portrayal of black superheroes in the comic community. And I want you guys to speak on that. This is your platform.
We already know. We've been talking about this since we were kids. We were not received in a positive light. And then if we do have a hero that's that's showing some kind of dominance in the universe, they find some mean to either depower him or make him out to be some kind of immoral individual, some way, shape, or form. They can't stay in that dominant life for so long, like Cap or like Iron Man.
You will be hard pressed to find a black hero that's clean.
And doesn't have lightning in his, doesn't have lightning as a power.
Superman is a Boy Scout. He's clean. Everybody loves it. You look at Falcon. They made him a pimp named Snap Wilson. Luke Cage was a gang member.
Yep.
Triathlon from the Avengers. He won the gold medals, but you find out he was taking steroids. That is really the reason why Black Panther is so beloved, because he's the one black hero that's clean. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing.
But how do you feel about him not being an American hero?
It really didn't make a difference to me.
Okay.
Well, because it's literally one of those kind of things where we don't have enough decent heroes that you can afford to be picky.
True.
Well, he's not American, and I don't care. At least there's not something wrong with it.
Okay.
Because when you look at the American black heroes, they fall into certain stereotypes. They're not everybody's hero. They protect the hood.
And they got lightning powers.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of energy powered Negroes in comics.
Static.
They should literally run power companies somewhere.
Yeah.
Storm is electric. Static is electric. Miles is electric. Bishop has energy powers. I mean, Monica Rambeau has energy powers. Blue Marvel has energy powers. I mean, we have the energy power market covered.
Yep.
You want your lights cut on? Find your local black hero.
Even that one dude that Marvel created a while back. What was that guy's name? The basketball player.
Oh, Mosaic.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. That thing was so bad. I was like, oh, Lord, I can't get past 3 issues of this. I'm sorry. I had to ask people, what the hell is Trill? What is Trill? Oh, it's true and real. Oh, thank God. I thought my black card was in, danger of being revoked or something. I was like, hell, y'all coming up with slang I ain't never heard of. What the hell? Well, he did. He was a basketball player that was basically dating Marvel's version of Iggy Azalea, and everything to her was Trill. Oh, it's Trill. This is Trill. This is Trill. I'm like, what the fuck is Trill? What the hell? A Trill? What, you mean like from Star Trek? No, that can't be right. What the hell are you talking about? But yeah, I had to ask a friend, what the hell is Trill? Oh, it's true and real. Oh,
that's what it means.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was Marvel's diversity. Hey guys, you get a basketball player. Oh God, I've never seen a black basketball player before. You are breaking ground.
Oh my God.
And what's his new power? Lightning.
Well, he did jump into people, so he crackled and then he jumped in your body. So he was kind of like Dead Man if Dead Man worked for the power company.
If Dead Man worked for the power company.
Yeah.
OPPD.
Yeah, he had to have light. But that's
pretty cool though. I watched Static Shock growing up a lot. I had a childhood crush on Static Shock for sure.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, Virgil.
He was so badass. I loved it.
Virgil was badass in his milestone run. I make no bones about like his power level. He was stout. It's just,
but they just didn't know what to do with him.
It's a lot of lightning. It's a lot of energy.
They just didn't know what to do with him, though.
So we've got Wayne in the chat. He says Icon and Spawn.
Icon was.
Let me ask this. What about this new Icon run? How are you feeling about it?
I have not been reading the new one yet.
I stopped at issue 3.
And why'd you stop?
It's just not holding my interest. It's just not holding it. It's like it's rushed. Every bit of it seems to me like it's been rushed, and it was part of a diverse cookie.
Oh,
do you feel like they're grabbing? They're money grabbing?
Yep.
Let me answer the dude's question though. Icon disappeared from his own book about halfway through.
Yep.
They replaced him with Rocket. And Spawn went to hell.
Right.
Pretty sure that's something wrong with him. ain't like he died and went to heaven. His whole thing was I was an assassin that died and went to hell. Man, it's something wrong with you, bro.
Yep.
Maybe he's an anti-hero.
Yeah, that seems to be the running thing that they have going on for black superheroes, making them anti.
Yeah.
A cat that I would like to see them come back and breathe life into would be Night Thrasher. Night Thrasher was the truth. And I would like to see
Night Thrash is cool. The Blue Marvel is cool. I actually talked to Kevin Graveau when they put Blue Marvel on to the Avengers. I talked to him on Facebook. And he said he purposely created the Blue Marvel because he was tired of black heroes that had something wrong with them.
Yeah.
So he went out of his way to make Blue Marvel stand up. So
I think that would be pretty cool to have Blue Marvel actually open up some kind of institute and just start teaching these new black superheroes in an academy, teaching them how to be actual heroes.
I don't need a preachy black hero. I just want one that's cool.
Okay. So why do you think they don't do black heroes like they do the traditional Batman, the traditional Amazing Spider-Man, the traditional Superman?
Well, let's call it what it is. It's a market that's dominated by those type of characters that look like them, by those type of people that look like them. The thing of it is when they approach black superheroes, it's not taken serious. For one, if you look at all their rogues galleries, they're made jokes of.
Yeah.
Luke Cage has one of the craziest rogues gallery, but you'll never see none of these guys.
Roach Johnson.
You'll never see these guys. You'll never see these guys in the cinematic universe, and if you do, it's like, who is this guy?
But you know what? They actually had Cockroach Johnson in the Netflix thing.
They did.
With his 6-barrel shotgun.
Yeah.
Did. Yep. I was sitting there going, no, they didn't put Cockroach in there.
The first thing that comes to people's minds when they're doing that is it's not a marketable character. It's not going to sell. And it's almost as if they set it up for failure before it's even available, due to the fact that, let's say, for instance, I come up with this new black superhero. It's getting all kind of rant and rave about the character. Nobody's seen the character yet. They just heard, a few rumors about the story that's about to pop off. Before you get the story completely, finished, they're going to want to come in and add things to it. They're going to want to come in and make it this and make it that, make it something that's totally not what your vision was. And before you know it, you have somebody like Cockroach Johnson as your superhero. And then they don't put writers that look like these characters on a character like that. It's one thing to have a black superhero. It's another thing to have a writer that can relate to being black to write that superhero.
And the truth of the matter is, you actually got a better quality of diverse hero in the past.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, when Stan and Jack went, we're going to make a black superhero, they created Black Panther.
Yep.
And his first issue, he beat the living hell out of the Fantastic Four. I thought, because I went back and got back issues of the character, and I thought, man, I guess when I read this stuff from the 60s, I was all braced. Now, he kicked 11 different flavors of ass back then.
11 different flavors.
Which was cool. These days, Marvel's big thing is the diversity cookie, in that they don't give you anybody. Their last original thing was Mosaic, which truthfully, yeah, they could have kept him. But their big thing now is to give you the black version of a white hero, which I call a scrap or a crumb.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Miles Morales
Make it
is a
original.
scrap because he's not Spider-Man. He's the black Spider-Man.
In an alternate universe that can't come live action.
Right. Ironheart was a gender swap war machine. She's not Iron. She's in Iron Man, but she's not really Iron Man. She's Falcon is Cap. I literally refer to as the inferior Captain America because that dude got his ass kicked for 6 straight issues, and when he finally won a fight, he beat up a girl, barely.
Okay.
I mean, Falcon Cap he got beat up by Batroc the Leaper. He got beat up by Armadillo.
Mm-hmm.
He was dating Misty Knight, and she used to beat him up in training. And then the Avengers team he was on, he used to be sexually assaulted by the female Thor. That's fact. Go look it up.
You can actually read those books.
When she wanted a bit of chocolate, she took him. And they had him like it.
Yep.
Flip that. Have Luke Cage just come up and grab Sue Storm and slob her down unbidden. And then have her like it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work.
Okay. So let's go to some questions. Wayne wants to know, didn't they have a black Batman in Future State? I am Batman.
And he sucked.
Yeah.
They made in the JLA of Future State, they went out of their way to let you know that Jace Fox wasn't crap as a detective.
And he's not canon, right?
Well, he is canon. He's canon now. Jace Fox is running around, I think, as Batman and what they're doing now. But the thing is, he's inferior. You know how Bruce can beat the living hell out of Darkseid because he's Batman?
Yes.
Jace ain't doing that.
Right.
Okay,
so he is canon now. So he's gonna stay as what, an alternate Batman?
For as long as that lasts, you know.
Well, it's a limited run, so
yeah. But it's one of those kind of things where, and I got into an argument with a guy. The dude actually called me Comics Gate for it, but it's a fact. These they're knockoffs. They're knockoffs. You know, you can't get to it. I can't get excited about Jace Fox Batman because I'm old enough to remember Jean-Paul Valley.
Yep.
It's a knockoff. Even if he takes over the book, 1-2 years tops, he's out. Why? Because in the mental zeitgeist, he'll never be Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman. So his run is basically just people waiting for Bruce Wayne to come back.
Yep. Is that another money grab?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a and it gives you the diversity cookie because if you do that, you get an article in Time and the New York Times, and they go, "Oh, look how diverse and inclusive we are." But the problem is they don't worry about quality.
They just throw it out there.
They'll let you be Scooby-Doo in the Halloween picture.
Yep.
Okay. And do you feel like with this, like Static and Tony, you said you stopped reading Icon and Rocket, and I know I read the first 2 issues of Icon and Rocket, and I was like, I won't read anymore. So talk about that run of Icon and Rocket, what they are doing with that, or what they did with that.
It's been so long since I've read issue 1 and 2 of that book.
Wrong.
So
after I read those first 2 issues of it, I was like, well, I don't understand what the direction that they were trying to go in with this.
They were fighting. They were fighting drug crime, petty crime, right? And if you have somebody like Icon, who is an alien, who took over a human's body, so a Superman kind of situation, right?
And
why would he be fighting drug crime, petty crime, street crime? Why would he not be fighting the supervillains like Superman?
Because it keeps him in the hood. I'll give you a quick example over in Marvel. They had the Mighty Avengers. That team was Luke Cage, Monica Rambeau's Photon, the Blue Marvel, Blade, Spider-Man, and She-Hulk. When you looked at that team, you went, they could be fighting like the Masters of Evil or somebody.
Right.
They had them fighting were chickens. Hand to God. They were fighting mystical were chickens.
I wonder why.
And you sit there and go, why? It's like Tony said before, any hero is built off their rogues gallery. Batman is super popular because his rogues gallery is super popular. Spider-Man has an amazing rogues gallery. You know, it's like I said, it's and I've said this on my podcast a few weeks ago. The version of inclusion now is just surface. They want you for the identity. They don't really care about you being cool.
No.
And all this is based off being cool. Everybody wants to be cool on the playground. If you're a little girl, you want somebody to play on the playground that's cool. If you're a little white kid, you want to be somebody on the playground that's cool. If you're a little black kid, you want somebody on the playground that's cool.
Right.
You don't want to be the dude you don't want to be the person that's forced to be, somebody lame. You just want somebody cool to play as. And that's just kind of lost. It's just kind of, well, he's Asian, ain't he? Look at the thing surrounding Shang-Chi. They acted like Shang-Chi was something new. Oh man, we got Asian inclusion in this movie. It's something. And you had the star Simu Liu come out and go, when I grew up, I never had an Asian hero. Really? You've never
Bruce
seen an
Lee.
Asian martial artist hero before.
Bruce Lee.
Alpha Strange, I grew up with Bruce Lee and Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
And Sammo Hung, Young Butte.
Donnie Yen, but you ain't grow up with nobody. So you've never seen an Asian martial artist in a movie before, really. That'd be like Mosaic. I've never seen a black basketball player before. Is that groundbreaking? What are you going to have for the Asian next? You're going to have somebody that does math? Oh, Amadeus Cho. What's his power? Math.
But he was the next Hulk.
Yeah, but he started out as what? Math. He did super math. And when he ate sweets, he did math better. And then they go, see, we're inclusive. That sucks. It's stereotypical as hell. What next? You're going to have the next black character get his power from eating Popeyes? What the hell? I mean, it just don't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then they won't praise for that. Well, look at what we did. Yeah, you gave me somebody that sucked. Yeah, he's black, but hell, I don't want to be Fastos. No kid wants to be Fastos. They literally told that dude to lose weight. Look at the Eternals. You look at that. Everybody's fit but the black dude. And they told him, the director told him, no, don't lose weight. We want you just as you are. Yeah, because you can't be the ideal. It's subtle, but obvious.
But it's the narrative. It's the narrative. Yeah. It's the narrative that they push, and it's in everything. So I mean, And
then like I said, they got rid of T'Challa.
Yeah.
The one black character you had in the MCU that didn't have a boss and wasn't some white person's buddy.
And he
was also the only black male in the MCU to kiss anybody until Fastos, and he's still the only black character in the MCU to kiss another black person.
Yep.
It's one of those kind of things where you could go, well, you picking at straws, but they're there.
Right. Okay. I mean, man.
You asked the question.
No. Look, I'm trying to get you guys. Look. We open in the forum. The floodgates have opened. You guys are absolutely in a safe place to say whatever the hell you like, whatever the hell you want. Because I will tell you guys, I've heard this conversation for months on end. So we have to put it out there. We just do. Yeah. So
it's just one of those things that you
have to.
When it's something that you love, you kind of like for it not to piss on you.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those kind of things where, like I said, I've literally been reading comics my whole life.
Right.
My whole thing of it is, you would think the people in the industry and the people of power would want to look out and be like, hey, Isn't that little black kid's money green too? Why don't we have his? What are we doing
Right.
that's that he's not buying this? We
But the
need
truth
his
is,
money too.
but you can't say that, Tony, because there's a lot of people that are satisfied with scraps.
Yep.
There are people to this day that love Moon Girl.
Yeah. And then they don't realize it's a knockoff of a little monkey riding around on a dinosaur.
Right.
Yeah.
Moon Girl is the species gender swap version of Moon Boy. Moon Boy was an intelligent ape. They have the same powers and the same pet.
Yep.
Right.
I grew up with Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur because it had a dinosaur in it, and I love dinosaurs. So I had those runs. So yeah, when they went, oh, Moon Girl, she's the smartest person there, and I'm sitting there going, yes, yeah, so was Moon Boy. That was Moon Boy's power too. He was the smartest monkey.
So Max has a question. She put it in the chat, but I'm gonna let my girl Max ask it.
Sure.
Do you think that Marvel, DC, or Indies are better at portraying actual diversity as opposed to this just swiping stuff?
Indies.
That's what I thought.
Because they give them
Indies
free
because they're
reign.
not doing it.
Indies aren't afraid to be real.
Right?
Yeah, the independents aren't doing it for a cookie. They know that if they put something in there, you know, New York Times isn't going to cover them. It's not going to show up on CNN. So at least you'll have some creators there that do it for the right reasons of doing it, as opposed to
like Bitterroot.
Yeah,
Bitterroot.
There was a book called Genius that was real good. That was out maybe about 5 or 6 years ago.
Was that about a little
girl? About a little girl that was basically
that was on Top Cow. The writer that came up with that, she wrote that on Top Cow. And it was a contest that Top Cow had for writers and artists to enter.
I did not care so much for the sequel, but that first one was hardcore.
I think indies don't have this big name to live up to. So they're just going to put it out to you real.
Yeah.
You know, they're not money grabbing. They're not,
they want to tell a story.
Yeah, they're just telling a great story. And they don't have to make either the race or the sexual orientation of the characters the main focus. They're just telling a great story.
And the inclusivity that DC and Marvel do is for the money. Let's face it. They're doing what all the companies do when it's any awareness month of any type. All these big companies change their little icons to have a rainbow or whatever. You know, they're just hopping on the hype for the money. Whereas indies, they're not scared to be real. Because they don't have like all this stuff on the line of one little mix-up. They want to tell real stories. Their writers come there because they are looking for a publishing company that will take them because they know the story they want to tell is going to be true and not just some of this kiddie shit.
They make it seem like passion versus profit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But recognize real.
I talked about that
What's up, James?
On my Facebook. If I had a child, I would be pushing them toward indie books, stuff that you can find online from other creators, just because I'm kind of well known online with the Marvel DC thing. I'm about done because I don't see where they get any better. It's literally just kind of the same.
I only buy Marvel's spec books mostly anymore. Everything that I want I'm actually into is mostly indie. It's like a month or two ago went through my entire collection and it was like 85% indie, 5% DC, 20% or 10%, 15%, whatever of it was Marvel. And most of my Marvel collection is Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
So what is your favorite indie book?
Or Bronze Age previous, right? Because let's keep it real, the modern, that's where they're messing up. Because
I read old stuff,
Right.
I'll read an essential or a trade or something at the drop of a dime. The stuff that's out now, I'm kind of like, whatever. So
what is their favorite indie book?
Max's?
Yeah.
Trying to think. I really enjoyed We Live. I really loved Something's Killing the Children. I still need to get caught up on it though. And I like a lot of horror stuff too. Like Basket Full of Heads was pretty dope.
Huh.
Which is like a DC Black Label. So Sandman, I fucking love Sandman, which is Vertigo before Black Label happened. So yeah.
Did you see the trailer for the actual series they got coming out, the TV series?
No, I haven't.
Max, you gotta watch it.
I
You
thought
like
it was
the trailer?
surprise.
You like the book,
Honestly,
you'll like
like
that
I
one.
like that surprise factor of being able to just sit down and watch
It's
it.
Neil Gaiman.
Get
So
wild.
Neil Gaiman gives you everything
Fucking
up front in
love
that
Neil Gaiman.
trailer.
I love Neil Gaiman, and I also love his wife, Amanda Palmer. I've been into her music for a while now, since like the past 6 years or so. But yeah, no, I love them both. They're a power couple. They have a beautiful little baby boy. And yeah, I think that they are both at hitting those touchy subjects, and I think that's why they work out together as a couple, which is a different can of worms. But he's just absolutely brilliant. I love it that he won all these awards for his books, and people were like, well, that shouldn't count because he didn't write. He was just it was a comic, there's pictures, that doesn't count. So he went on and he wrote a novel and still won those, and it was just a big to all the jealous people out there, you know. I was
Sorry,
like,
guys, I gotta shut my door. Go ahead.
Okay. But yeah, a lot of indies. I really dig them.
The teaser trailer looks really good. I think you should do yourself a favor and check that out.
All right. I really
Yes.
like being hit in the face full front with the movie as a whole piece.
See,
But
that's what you
sometimes
keep
the
telling me, Tom.
trailers
She
are
don't
that
know.
just that lovely little appetizer that
Gotcha.
you really need to keep you hooked. So I'll check it out. I'm really bad at keeping up with all that stuff. Even Marvels, I still have missed quite a few of the Marvel movies. Don't tell anyone.
That's okay. Look, I'm not paying for. I'm not watching movies if I gotta pay for them, because I'll tell you what. Sometimes I have no faith, and I'm not wasting my dollars. But
Unpopular
I'll watch
opinion,
them
I hate movie
eventually.
theaters.
I will watch them eventually.
I think that Phase 4 is gonna really hit hard because it's that Marvel now that they were trying to push, where you got Falcon America,
Mm-hmm.
and then you actually have Jane Foster's Thor, War Machine for Iron Man, or Riri for Iron Man.
Yeah, Ironheart.
Yeah, it's all the second-rate characters that are in the forefront of the all mainstream characters of Avengers, and they're going into the cinematic universe with it, which everybody knows that particular genre was the least popular genre. And they're even setting it up to where Pete's supposed to be the new poster boy for Marvel, so he's supposed to take the place of Stark, which he did.
Right.
And you had him leading that new Avengers team there for a while. So I think that's where they're trying to go with now, the cinematic universe.
Yep.
AKA, the sooner they can get the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, the better.
You know, be careful what you wish for, because when you get it, you ain't gonna want it.
Oh, I know that. I figured that. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Do we have any questions? Nah, I don't know that we have any questions. Pops, look, I'm gonna highlight some comments. Yeah, I'm all for calling attention to diversity, but I don't want to worry about that in comic books. I gotta call that out.
Ha! Pop.
It's like you're cool with black people hanging around, but you don't want to be called to your attention that black people are hanging around.
We need true diversity in everything, equal diversity.
Yeah.
Not just Okay, so you're wrong.
It's good if you do it the right way. If you do it the right way, it works. If you're starting to force it down everybody's throat, it doesn't work. You know,
Yeah.
for the long, it's how many generations now until people realize that John Stewart wasn't the first Green Lantern,
Right.
and they had to go back and realize that Hal Jordan was Green Lantern.
Right.
They took and made John Stewart so damn cool that it was a generation that was like, that's Green Lantern, that's Green Lantern, that's Green Lantern. but it took time for them to get them to that point. But they don't seem to want to do that with any other characters in their universe. Marvel doesn't seem to want to do that with any other characters in the universe.
Well, it's the formula. It's the formula. The formula isn't whatever the identity is first. It's you make the character cool. I like Black Panther not because he's black. I like him because he's cool. I like him for the same reason I grew up reading Batman. Batman was cool. Batman didn't look like me. I ain't cared that Batman didn't look like me. Batman was cool.
My whole thing of it, and I'll stick with it, and I'll ride or die by saying what I'm saying. I don't care what any of these characters' sexual orientation is. All I care about is they're telling a damn good story. I can care what I can give a rat's ass about what Skeletor wants to do.
I think that's what he was trying to say.
I think that's what he was trying to say, is that he doesn't care about fighting about it. He just wants to have a good story to read.
And that's what we lost is so many of these publication companies, they're grabbing. They're like, this person is this. This person is of this orientation, sexual orientation. This person is this race. So you need to buy this book. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. It should just be great stories. But
the thing about
publication companies, they're just putting it out there. They're putting everything on Front Street, trying to grab the money real quick, right?
The thing about orientations for me, though, is I never read comic book characters for sex. That still weirds me the fuck out. I don't want to know the Joker's get down.
I don't either. I can care less.
I watched this last half of Masters of the Universe Revelation, and you had Evil Lynn straddling Skeletor and like licking his, because he ain't got lips. So she's like kissing all on his skull. Dude, I don't need to see all that. I ain't never watched the Masters of the Universe and said, man, I wonder what it's like when I wonder if Evil Lynn bones Skeletor. Why? Why would anybody want to see that?
Right. Well, because when
I swear to God, I played with them as a kid. I never had like Skeletor banging nothing. Why in the hell would any human want to bang Skeletor? That's sick.
They're trying to use these situations to tailor, right? Is that what they're doing?
I don't think it's about tailoring. I think it's just more about the shock and the awe of it, and it's in your face, and it takes away from the fandom. It wasn't part of the fandom in the beginning, so it shouldn't be part of the fandom now.
Well, the thing is, it gets them a cookie. When they went, Superman's bisexual. That was all in the news. It was all on the radio. It was all on CNN. It gave them press. If you write a good story doesn't get you any press. Dark Phoenix Saga didn't show up in no newspaper.
Nope.
Kree Skrull War didn't show up in the newspaper. Rise and Fall of the Shi'ar Empire didn't show up in the newspaper.
Nope.
But if you go, hey, Kitty Pryde's bisexual, huh? You know, Wolverine's in a threesome on the moon. That's sensational, and you know, and apparently I've always said this, if you're worried about Joker's get down, you've really gotten too old for comics. It's time to move on to novels. There are novels where characters have sex and it makes sense. If you're basically sitting there watching X-Men, wanting to see like Jean and Scott do it, you got that on Pornhub. Graduate from comics and cartoons and go to Pornhub. And all that's on there. You can see all your cartoon characters do all the kind of freaky shit you want. But, you know, kind of leave that out of cartoons and shit where my inner child
Barney on there doing the dirty.
Get down.
You can probably see anything. Trust.
You know, if you want to see the Wonder Twins, you want to see the Wonder Twins and Gleek have a threesome, have at it. It's on Pornhub. I'm sure you can find that. But for God's sake, don't put it in a comic book. I don't want to read that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and kids are drawn to them, you know. So
no.
Nah, it ain't kids. That's what you start
Just like
seeing
checking the
that
kids' Halloween
when
candy. Check out their books before you just toss them at them.
Yeah.
when me and Tony's generation didn't grow up and get out of comics, that's when you start seeing a bunch of sex in comics because it's a bunch of old people that, like I said, should have graduated on to novels.
Yep.
You could graduate to novels and have all kind of sex, but it's like, no, I want to see Batgirl and Batman do it on the roof. No, I don't. I really don't. The thought of somebody willingly having sex with the Joker kind of creeps me the fuck out.
And this whole thing with Image forming this union thing, and I think that's one of the things that's why they're doing what they're doing, because they know what it took for them to make these characters, these iconic characters that they have. And then you got a whole other generation that's coming along and want to tell these stories. Well, they got stipulations and guidelines on these characters now before you can tell that story. You read the lineage,
Right.
and you keep the core of the character. You don't change anything, and you add to the lineage. And I think that needs to be straight across the board, because this is the thing. If you're an upcoming writer and you're chomping at the bit to get your hands on Wolverine, and you've always wanted to write Wolverine, you've been a fan of Wolverine your whole entire life, and then when you get a chance to write for him, the first thing you do is what? You take him out of his costume, you take him off the X-Men, and then you make him fall in love with this, three-headed alien from Uranus. What was the point of you taking over and doing this to this character that you so-called love? And it's been a dream of yours to write a story, but it just so happens that this story that you want to write involves him being a part of that. No.
The trick is most of these writers that say that, they don't really have a love for that character. It's just something they pull a Kevin Smith. You know how Kevin Smith loved He-Man until they find out he didn't love He-Man? They called him in a lie. Yeah, because that's the thing. You'll have some of them just come in and go, yeah, I never read a comic book in my life, but I'm going to write this comic book and we see how it goes. And, they're usually trash.
And that's why there's more passion, I think, in independence.
Right.
Because people seek them
And-
out, seek out publishing because they have a story to tell.
Exactly. And now you have a lot of these writers going to truly independent, like BlueStacks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
You're starting to see people that just kind of go, well, I'm going to tell my story over here.
Yeah.
And you'll start to see the fandom kind of drift away because, it's your corporate comics just kind of are what they are.
Right.
You can kind of expect that kind of stuff.
They're so limited, right?
Well, it's like I said, there's no press in a good story.
No.
There's none. There's no press in a good story, but if you can sensationalize something, they'll get you some press. They'll get you a nice little bump for a month or two while you work on the next event. Look at it. You've either got some kind of event, a death, or somebody's coming out.
Right.
That's kind of what you got. It's no real slam to anybody that likes it. It's just it ain't my cup of tea. I'll never be one I'm not for sex in stuff that I look at for children. I realize my ass is too old to be this into comics, but I don't come to comics for adult Todd. I come for little kid Todd to read stuff.
I'm not coming to comics with my flashlight under the sheets, that's not why I'm here.
Yeah, that's my inner child. All this kind of stuff, all the pop culture stuff, whether it's comics or toys or Star Wars, any kind of stuff.
It's okay to have romance, but there is a line that
I don't need
sure, we can have titles like Vampirella and stuff that is specifically towards adults. But, like,
Right. And
so, like,
that's what a
they
lot
make
of those
it very clear on the cover that it's for adults.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm
that's
saying?
what a lot of those titles were for. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
To kind
that
of
is the sexy lady
draw that
covers.
line.
You want to see
Yeah.
naked ladies, whatever. But in these current comics that are coming out, we just, we want to see good stories. We don't need all the sexual
our hearts to be
orientations,
touched.
all the sexual endeavors.
Morals and
Yeah.
the stories that we're used to, you know?
Right,
You
right.
just, so what if you have to revamp them? That doesn't mean you have to be like, up, time to pull the sex card.
Yeah, it's like I
You don't
said,
need
that's
that.
and that's one of the kind of things, when you hear me talk about orientations, I am not in favor of straight sex in kid stuff because that's not what I grew up with.
Right.
That's like I said, it's anathema to me because I never watched Masters of the Universe thinking about anybody screwing. I didn't watch Transformers thinking about anybody screwing. I didn't watch G.I. Joe thinking about anybody screwing. Cause I was too little. I knew what screwing meant.
Transformers, you didn't see
Right.
them bumping uglies.
So, so to have it now where it's like, oh yeah, like I said, that if I could have taken a picture of my face, I'm like, oh my God, she's about to bang Skeletor. Yeah, what the hell? That's sick to me. I don't need to know fictional characters get down.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
check your
care
kids'
to-
comics. Let them know your values, and like most parents already do.
Yeah,
is
I mean,
let them
Superman
understand the values.
technically had a girlfriend in Lois Lane, but let's be honest,
You didn't see
for
anything.
how much of his career did they never do anything? Because she liked Superman. Superman wasn't interested in her. Clark Kent liked her, but she didn't like Clark Kent. So it was a love triangle where nobody got lucky.
That provides tension. Like,
Yeah,
tension is great for
but
writing.
nobody ever got lucky.
You never saw
Nobody.
a
Clark
butthole.
didn't get a kiss. Lois didn't get a kiss. Superman didn't get a kiss. Nobody kissed. It was just, oh, she liked Superman. Oh, okay.
Yep.
It was a plot point. There's no actual anything there.
Okay, Todd, we're going to go up to this comment because Chef has asked some questions. Do you think Spawn is an original or just a Batman Punisher type ripoff?
I think Spawn is really more of a Venom ripoff than he is anybody.
Yeah.
With the whole Hell symbiote about
Yep.
the time that Venom.
I mean, look at the creator, Todd McFarlane. What's he well known for drawing?
Yeah. So I think that was him basically going, I'm leaving Marvel, but I like the idea of having a symbiote. By God, I'm gonna have a Hell symbiote.
Which is fine.
And the thing is, I don't dog out stuff like that. It's like I dog out crumbs. A crumb is where you just flat out go, look, this is a knockoff swap meet Batman. That's a crumb. Where that person is supposed. John Paul Valley was a knockoff. He was supposed to be Batman. Something like Spawn, where you go, well, that's derivative. My God, how many Superman derivatives are there? Captain Marvel, Blue Marvel,
Right.
Sentry, Mr. Majestic, Apollo. There's a million different Superman knockoffs. Well, they're derivatives. They're not necessarily knockoffs because they're not supposed to be Superman. They're just Superman in everything but name. But yes, I think he's Punisher. I think he's Punisher if he got the Venom symbiote and went to hell. He's almost Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's almost Cosmic Ghost Rider before Cosmic Ghost Rider was a thing. Just instead of the power cosmic, he got, Null gave him a symbiote.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, he's Flash Thompson with the symbiote with Hellfire powers.
Well, no, Flash Thompson would be a knockoff of Spawn. Would be a Spawn derivative because Spawn had it first.
I like Wendigo's comment. I feel like my answer is correct.
This one?
Yeah. And then I was
or
like,
this one.
Then why's his mask shaped like that?
But see that, and again, that was another whole thing where it's like, well, they say Batman doesn't go down. Why we?
Right.
Do you want to watch Batman eat Catwoman?
Nope.
And if you do,
No.
Pornhub.
No.
If you want to
Pornhub.
see Batman go down on Catwoman, Pornhub.
Pornhub.
There's a different site for that.
Pornhub. You're old enough to go to Pornhub. Do
I hope
Pornhub.
you are if you're watching this at least.
Well,
LOL.
even if you're not, and you want to see that, Pornhub.
They don't ask for your
Just don't get
ID.
caught. Just don't get caught.
This channel is not
Incognito
sponsored by
mode, my
Pornhub, by the
friend.
way.
Hey, Cinemax
Incognito
After
mode. Y'all
Dark
know
was a
about it.
thing until it wasn't. You know, I ain't mad at you. Just proper
NordVPN.
things
Get
in
it.
its proper place.
Right.
Yeah.
Comic books, fairly innocent.
Stay in your lane.
You want to
Stay in your lane. And I think that's the message of the night is like,
Yeah.
stay in your lane.
Yeah. You want some freaky deaky? I ain't mad at you. You know, like I said, if you want to see Gleek
More power
get
to
down
you.
with the Wonder Twins, that is your freaking thing. You have a right to do that. Just
Right.
don't put it in the comic book. Go to Pornhub.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after being in a store and having Thanksgiving dinner, I look at the comic books now, and it's like you're going to somebody's house for Thanksgiving that you don't know, and you don't know what's on the menu, and you go to the counter and you're picking up your plate, you're adding your dressing, you're adding your turkey, and then you add potato salad. And there's always somebody asking who made the potato salad. Why does this potato salad have raisins in it? I don't eat raisins
wrong.
in my potato salad.
That's a sin. That's a culinary sin. Gordon Ramsay
Yeah.
would not stand for that.
So I'm going to pass on this potato salad, but I'm going to slide over to the macaroni and cheese. Comic books are the same way. You go
Yeah.
into a comic shop, they're inviting you in for dinner, and this is what's on the menu. And you have a choice to pick and choose what you want to pick and choose from. But if you don't want raisins in your potato salad, don't buy it. Don't support it. It's either one or two things going to happen. It's either going to go under, or they're going to get the message because you hit them in the pocket first, and they're going to fix the
With
problem.
a new number one. They
What's that?
rebooted with a new number one. Look how many
Oh, right.
times
They're going to pull somebody off or do something like that.
Look
and-
how many times Captain Marvel has had a new number one. It keeps failing. It'll go on. I think it's on its longest run it's ever had now. I think it's up to like 35, 36 issues. It ain't done that in years.
Well, the thing of it is, what's going to fix that whole scenario is them stop trying to push that narrative that they're pushing.
Mhm.
You know, tell a decent story and stop pushing the narrative. It's that simple.
Eh,
Moral of the story, write better stories.
If indies right now, people are gravitating to that, the first thing from your mind as being a part of the big two is, why are they reading this and not reading this? Won't you read it for yourself and find out why they're reading it and why they're not reading your stuff? And what's going on in your books that's driving them from over here to over here? It's not hard.
It's not hard. And I think indies right now are killing it with the storylines. And it's so easy for somebody to jump into some indie books and start reading them because there's no crossovers, there's no other characters they need to read about. You can just pick up one title and read that issue through 1 through 6 or 1 through 12 or 1 through whatever and stick with that and understand the story from start to finish versus
Without all
Marvel
these
and
tie-ins and
DC.
shit.
Huh?
Without all these tie-ins and shit, where Marvel, you have to buy these other 3 series in order to understand what's going on in this main storyline that just drops, and you're like,
Yeah.
why? It's
Well,
just
because
a
they're
money
trying
plot.
to catch you into all the other stories, and they're doing
You're
once
just like,
again
"Bro, I'm
that
not a
money
fucking
grab.
robot. I can't remember
Like
all this
the last big one was King in Black. It was only 5
Mhm.
issues long, but there was like 63 books in the whole fucking thing.
shit." Yep.
You know, so you've got
We had
King
to
of
print a
Black 1
freaking
through
handbook
5.
for that shit. We had to
Yeah,
print a freaking handbook. It's like,
but you can
bro.
pick up Geiger, Department of Truth, Something is Killing Children, House of Slaughter, Bermuda, Power Rangers. I don't care what you read in the indies. You can pick up one title and read it from issue 1 to whatever issue it ends at, and it's easy.
Radiant Black has been real good though too.
Radiant
I
Black,
do like it.
Radiant Black has been great. Yeah. Yep.
Is Lion Forge still going, or did they finally?
Which one?
Lion Forge.
I think they got absorbed. I've been trying to figure that out too, because when Lion Forge came on the scene, all four of their titles they had at that time was hot, and then all of a sudden, no more Lion Forge.
So Adam has a question. Tony, are you able to pick up your phone and I'll tell you what, let me just say this. The indie section in our store is bigger than, it's not bigger than Marvel and DC combined, but it is bigger than Marvel or DC.
Good.
Yeah.
My
If
girl.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
DC, no. Marvel.
And if you
DC's like this big, Marvel's like this big, Indie's like this big.
who asked that question?
Adam Horry.
Is he in a position where he can come into the store?
No, he's not local.
Oh.
Yeah.
We'll
But
send
I'll
the,
tell you that, and Tony and Todd can contest to this too. When we get a new reader into the shop, it's very overwhelming to step into comics, right? At this point, you're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what I want to read. They might say like, I like this character, but I can't step into the storyline because I didn't read any of the back issues or the tie-ins. We tend to take them to indie books if they just want to get into reading. You try to ask them like, well, what kind of movies do you like to watch? Do you like horror movies? Do you like animation? Do you like funny? Like, what do you like? And then we direct them accordingly. But what I direct people to mostly is indie books. It's so easy to say, pick up this issue or this trade. Start here.
$15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of you're right. Most of them are under $15. And you're talking about 5 to 6 issues, anywhere between 120, 160 pages, $10 to jump on board to read the whole story, $12 here, $15 there.
Right. Yep. All right, guys. Any other questions or anything that you guys want to add? And we've got an hour and 45 minutes so far. We always try to keep this to an hour. And like Max, I told you, I was like, man, we get these guys going. We're going to be on here for 5 hours.
Can we behave?
How about anything else that you two would like to talk about? Tony and Todd.
What was that again?
Anything that you two would like to talk about? Just out of left field or that's related to what we've been talking about? Anything you feel like saying?
Throw it out there.
Recast T'Challa.
Yeah, they need to. For
You're
whatever
looking at a
reason,
flop.
Sean Connery died. They recast James Bond. Roger Moore died. They recast James Bond. You know.
Well, they recast them with them still alive.
So you don't want Shuri. You don't want Shuri. You don't want Killmonger, and you don't want, what was the dude's name?
Which M'Baku?
M'Baku. So you don't want them to take over.
It defeats the purpose.
Hold on. M'Baku wouldn't work because they don't worship the same God. The Black Panther is the totem of Bast.
Okay.
M'Baku don't worship Bast. He worships Hanuman. He worships a monkey. That's why they all dressed like apes and bark like gorillas, because they worship a different God. So he would never be Black Panther. He was trying to be leader. He was trying to be king, not Black Panther.
Yeah.
He actively mocked him when he was fighting him. Where's your God now? Yeah, that's him and T'Challa's whole beef. They don't believe in the same God. So M'Baku wouldn't work. Killmonger's dead. And who in the hell believes that Shuri could win Challenge Day?
I mean, I get it.
She weighs $105, holding 90 pounds of bricks. She ain't whipping. She ain't whipping M'Baku. She ain't whipping Nakia. She ain't whipping Okoye. She damn sure ain't whipping M'Baku.
I'm like 120. I've won my fair share of fights.
Against something that's 6'8" and picking up like 6 foot tall grown men by the scuff of their neck like puppies.
No.
He throw off at.
It's all about agility.
He would throw off at falls like a paper airplane.
She said, "How about agility?
A good tactic and quick to react."
The trick is when you have strength, ain't got to land but once. You got to hit him a whole lot to take him down.
Then get a gun.
Speed kills, but yeah, strength they ain't got to land but one time.
This household is specking on Killmonger becoming the next Black Panther.
Killmonger's dead, and the thing is, Killmonger don't have 60 years of stories. T'Challa does.
Yep.
T'Challa beat the Fantastic Four. T'Challa married Storm. T'Challa broke the Red Skull's jaw. Those are all T'Challa stories.
We all want to break the Red Skull's jaw.
Yeah, it was a nice thing to watch.
He's easily hateable.
Yeah. Well, he's a Nazi. Cap told everybody to punch a Nazi.
One of my favorite issues of Cosmic Ghost Rider when he uses the Time Stone to go back in time to fight alongside Cap to kill Nazis. He looked like he was having the time of his fucking life.
It's the Punisher problem.
I'm killing Nazis with Cap. Like this is great, and he's like got this big smile on his face and two guns in his hands.
Well, he's got a lot of respect for Cap. Even when he was when he enlisted, then when Cap or somebody trained him and trying to get him to fight him, and he wouldn't fight him because he had that suit on.
Well, yeah, they did that even in Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Punisher would not fight Cap. But if that's my thing to talk, is recast T'Challa.
They need to recast T'Challa.
Fair enough.
So he looks to Cap for the morals that he has, and the matter that, well, not all the morals, because one of them likes to kill, the other one doesn't. But for the morals of fighting in war, so it only makes sense.
Well, that's the trick with Punisher. Is Punisher does not look at himself as a hero. He basically goes, I realize I'm part of the problem.
As a hero. He sees himself always as vengeance. Right. So it's no duh that he got the spirit of vengeance.
Yeah, he realizes he's part of the problem. Where he looks at Cap as the ideal. That's who you ought to be. You shouldn't be like me.
He looks to Captain because he's like, I wish I could do what you do. I wish I could serve up justice and vengeance without the bloody murder that I have in my heart. But that's your whole family being killed. That'll do that to you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they'll do it. I mean, I would fight tooth and nail to murder anyone who were to touch my loved ones. You could have fucking punted my cat, and I would fight tooth and nail, even if you had a gun, to just murder you and rip your face off.
But yeah, they do. They really do need to recast T'Challa.
No, I agree. I agree. I think that giving the reins to somebody else it's an injustice.
Yeah. Well, time will tell what they decide to do. And chances are it's going to involve money.
Hasbro needs to get their marketing stuff together and start putting stuff out where people can get it. And they need to get off their high horse with this membership to pay a premium just to buy shit from them. They need to get off their high horse with that.
Yeah, that has premium and some garbage. I got to pay you $50 to pay you
to buy your stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Is that what it is?
I got to give you money for the honor of giving you money.
Yeah,
that's so dumb.
And people are buying into it. Well, yeah. And then you have this, and for the life of me, I don't understand why you got probably the #1 selling brand that people are chomping at the bit to buy, but you're dragging your ass with putting it out for people to buy it. There's not any man that you can come across, let alone female that you can come across, that hasn't heard of G.I. Joe.
Right.
And people were chomping at the bit for them to bring G.I. Joe back out. We talked about this for years, did we not, Todd?
Yeah.
If they ever make a 6-inch wave, I'm buying the hell out of that stuff. But apparently you don't want my money. If you ain't putting the stuff out, I can't buy it. If you're not saturating the market where I can get my stuff.
And that's why I didn't get into it.
I mean, what's the whole purpose of you having a product that's got that kind of hype, that's got that kind of rich story behind it, that's inclusive with everybody? They have everything and everybody in it, and you can't put it out the market for people to purchase.
Nah, they want to release 2 or 3 at Walmarts or Targets, and that's all you get.
And then they keep making these exclusives for this particular area, and it's for whatever reason you can't get it.
It's because they like knife fights.
Yeah,
we got 4 bats. Hit if you want it.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started. Look, we might have to do a segment on just figures and scalpers and exclusives. Oh, that's a whole nother battle.
Yeah.
Well, whenever I go to my LCS, I will never take the last issue. Like, I will leave a stack of them there. I'm going to grab 1 or 2 for me. Yes, maybe my intention is to resell, but I would never, ever do everything in my power to prevent someone who is a true collector from ever reading it. Like, I just feel like that's coming, you know?
I've always been that guy. 1 to rock, 1 to stock, 1 for trade negotiations. And any and everything that I have, because at some point in time, if I have 3 snake eyes, I got 1 in my collection.
Right.
You know, I got another one for trade negotiations. Because at some point in time, somebody's going to have a Storm Shadow that no snake eyes, but they got 2 Storm Shadows. I got 2 snake eyes.
Right.
I need that snake eye.
I never buy more than 1 figure off the shelf unless I'm getting the other one for like Tony or somebody.
Yep.
If I got a friend or somebody that's looking for 1, I'll buy more than 1. If I want more,
these 2 guys know they will message me and I will message them. They're like, "You need?" I'm like, "Yeah, grab me 1, grab me 2." You know, that's about it.
That's the community thing, though. Like, I have people hit me up like, "Hey, can you grab me 1 of these?" I'll be like, "Yeah."
Right.
And then I'll turn them on a Previews World. I'm like, "Hey, this is a LCS that I hit up regularly. If you want me to combine shipping, just open Previews World with them and then DM them. Say, hey, can you put this aside for Max to ship to me? I have books with her." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm willing to go that extra mile, as frustrating as it might be, so that you can save a few bucks." Like, I'm all about that shit. Like, because I care about
I think
my
that's
customers.
cool that everybody does that. If everybody's helping everybody out, because you know, it's hard enough being a collector in anything in this day and age, and to be able to still enjoy the hobby, to still be able to have the camaraderie like we're doing right now, talking about all these different things and all these different issues that we like and we don't like about the situation. You know, it needs to happen. It needs to be talked about, and it needs to keep that nostalgic of it going. And even though the books that they're putting out and they're dragging, putting the product and stuff out, I'm pretty sure they got legitimate answers for all this stuff.
Yep.
But at the same time, come on, bro, my money green just like anybody else.
That's right.
You want it, or I'm going to take it somewhere else where somebody else can get it. It's not that hard. If Kenner is producing, a particular wave of Star Wars figures, but I'm heavily into the G.I. Joes right now, then guess where my money's going? It's going straight to Kenner's, because Kenner's got this stuff on the shelf. It's a new line. It's a chance for me to get into it. And you need to cash in on the opportunity when the opportunity presents itself, because right now you have an opportunity to where you can reach your supporters, and you're not doing it.
Right. All right, you guys, we are wrapping it up. We're 2 hours in. Let me give some shout outs to some people that joined early, or late, I should say. Holly English, what is up? Thanks for joining. We appreciate you being in here. Wolverine Snick was in.
Did you say Holly?
I did. Holly English. That's right. Wolverine Snick. He is on YouTube as well. Exactly how his name is presented right here. So you got to sub him up. He started a new YouTube channel. He's featuring like new collectibles that he's coming around, new toys and stuff like that. Dope eBay account as well. So, oh my God, you got to hit that up. Sans, what's up, Sans? Thank you guys for joining in. We are wrapping the show up, but I wanted to give you guys some shout outs that are just joining in. Daymares, what is going on? What is going on? We guys hope that you all had an amazing holiday week. Max is showcasing her Cosmic Ghost Rider. She knows what's up.
Look at that.
Oh, is that the one from Tricky?
Yeah.
I still
Okay.
have that in the box. That's the Ghost Rider from the movie.
Yep.
She said, "Roo, roo, roo."
Yeah, that's Beast. I dig
All right,
it.
guys.
My
So
Cosmic's still in the box.
look, I'm gonna put it big on each individual person. That's because this is kind of how we end the show. So, Todd, any last words that you want to give the people?
Oh, come check me out. I work here from 3 to 6 on Sundays. It's usually a lot of fun. We get in a lot of interesting conversations around here. You can catch my podcast every Thursday on the Nerd Eternal Network and here on YouTube at the Nerd Eternal. And you can check us out on Facebook. That's about it. You know, if you're lucky enough to be my personal friend, you get to see the hell that I raise every night when I'm at work. But you know,
Nice.
other than that, take it easy.
Hey, okay. I got to get these guys links. I don't have their personal links. So I got to get these links. I might drop them on IG tomorrow, you guys.
Yeah,
All
do that.
right. I know, because you guys never sent them to me. Tony.
What's up?
What's up, Tony? What do you want to tell the people for the goodbye, late night? Thanks for hanging out with us, chat.
Support your local comic book shops. Any and every chance you get to pick up something new, or if you got a child that you want to expose to this genre, it's a genre that definitely needs another generation, and it's a genre that definitely needs to be spread. Please, by all means, take a trip, come see us. I'm here on Thursdays, but I'm pushing for more days. I'm here Thursday, 3 to close. If you want to see more stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes, I also have a Facebook page, Shoebox Heroes. This is where I showcase all of my original characters that I'm in developing with right now with the artist Power Radix. I also have a studio here in town. I'm not giving a location yet because I still have to put up all my my door deco and my actual address and stuff on my door. My business card should be coming in pretty soon for that. But you can find me on Facebook, Anthony Horton on Facebook. You can find my hero stuff and comic book development stuff on Facebook. Also, Shoebox Heroes. You can find me on Instagram, Anthony Horton and Shoebox Heroes on Instagram. And that's pretty much it. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Respect for the individual. And
Punch him in the throat.
yeah, first chance you get punched in the throat.
Punch him in the throat.
No.
I love it.
But yeah, if you
I was trying to put you out of your misery because I knew you were going to say some shenanigans.
punch him in the throat. No.
Punch him in the throat.
I forgot what I was gonna say now.
See, you got all enamored about punching people in the throat.
I did. You do it to me. That's
I
it.
can see Todd in the background. All right, Tony, no, I'm gonna put you out your misery because Todd done messed it all up.
Thanks for joining us.
Where you at, Max? What you got going on this week?
Today's Friday. Tomorrow I should be selling on Strictly Monday with Tricky, I think. And Tuesdays I'll be on the Creamer Crash crew.
That's right.
yeah, check out my Whatnot. I did a great bunch of deals on my Whatnot last night, so I'm gonna scramble to try and pack all of those up before we have to leave tomorrow for a Friendsgiving. Oh yeah, I'm not on Strictly's tomorrow. We're having Friendsgiving, so I'm fingers crossed somebody has real turkey.
Instead of
'Cause
fake.
I need it.
Did you have a vegan Thanksgiving?
We didn't really do anything.
Okay.
We worked. So
We know what's up.
that's how life do be. But we spent it together. So that counts for something. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I might be selling with Metaphorical. And Thursdays, we're going to try to have regular Whatnot shows. Because honestly, it was a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. He's my personal accountant, secretary, like bookkeeper. Well, it's my turn. Then we flip over to his channel, and then I'm his bookkeeper. So,
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Also,
All right, guys.
a raffle going on.
Oh,
Somebody help
before I
me fill
go,
it up.
I forgot the name of the podcast, and the guys will kill me. The name of our podcast on Thursdays is "Man, We're Too Old for This." Sorry, guys.
You got to send me
It's
the
late.
link.
It's late. It's late. Been up since yesterday.
Last like yesterday.
Yeah, I worked third, so yeah, it's like last yesterday.
Okay, Todd, we got to give you another birthday shout out. Happy birthday to you this upcoming Monday.
Woohoo!
Yes. Happy birthday.
Nobody's
Love
cut me yet.
y'all. Huh?
I said nobody's cut me yet.
Nobody's going to cut you anyways. All right, guys. This is it. You tuned into my favorite show, episode 5. You know how we do. We are out. We'll see y'all. We're ending the broadcast. Tune in next week on Max's channel for episode 6. And we will see you guys on the other side. Adios.
Catch you on the flip
You
side.
won't